He was signed to a $28 million endorsement contract and did absolutely nothing. Nobody has proof of any work he did. Zero things. No likes, no retweets, no posts, not even tree plantings. Kawhi Leonard received $28 million for doing nothing. No ads, no appearances, nothing. But now, under pressure, Kawhi has reportedly gone further, snitching on the Clippers and exposing a scheme bigger than anyone imagined. The shocking part? His own testimony could trigger contract nullifications and potentially wipe out the Clippers' future. Let's break it down. The bombshell investigation. On September 3rd, 2025, investigative sports journalist Pablo Torre dropped what may be the most explosive basketball story in decades. After 7 months of reporting and reviewing more than 3,000 documents, Torre uncovered what appears to be a sophisticated scheme involving the Los Angeles Clippers, their billionaire owner Steve Ballmer, and a now-bankrupt environmental company called Aspiration. Back in 2019, the NBA investigated how the Clippers managed to sign Kawhi Leonard. They found no proof of wrongdoing, but across the league, from the Lakers to the Raptors, teams were infuriated and suspicious. Everyone wanted to know, how did Ballmer and the Clippers land Kawhi Leonard? Torre's investigation reveals the story wasn't just about basketball or salary caps. It involved 2 Harvard graduates, 2 Democratic politicians, and what turned out to be a $2.3 billion scheme centered on climate change and saving the planet. Aspiration brought in a roster of A-list celebrity endorsers: Robert Downey Jr., Leonardo DiCaprio, Cindy Crawford, and Orlando Bloom. But what had never been reported until now was the company's single most important, most expensive endorsement deal. That deal was worth more than 4 times the combined value of all the other celebrity contracts, and it went to one of the least likely pitchmen in America, Kawhi Leonard. Aspiration was funded with $50 million by Steve Ballmer, the richest owner in sports, and not coincidentally, the owner of the Clippers. The timing of this deal is crucial. It may represent the most sophisticated salary cap circumvention scheme in NBA history. Kawhi's no-show job. When asked if there was any proof Leonard did actual work for Aspiration, Torre's response was damning. Typically in a story like this, you'd say, okay, there's no evidence and that's a problem. Here, the absence of evidence is the evidence. Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement contract and did nothing. Nobody has proof of anything. No posts, no appearances, not even symbolic tree planting. This was a company built on the promise of planting trees to offset carbon footprints. Kawhi contributed nothing. The suspicious timeline. August 2021. Leonard signs a 4-year, $176.3 million extension with the Clippers, below market value for a player of his caliber, giving the Clippers cap flexibility. September 2021. Ballmer invests $50 million in Aspiration through his LLC, Polpat. September 2021. The Clippers announce Aspiration as a founding partner for the new Intuit Dome in a $300 million, 23-year sponsorship deal. November 2021. Leonard's LLC, KL2 Aspire, is registered in California. April 2022. Leonard's 4-year, $28 million endorsement deal is activated. The structure of that contract is the smoking gun. Clauses allowed Leonard to do nothing and still collect payment. Even more suspicious, the deal voided if Leonard left the Clippers or retired, effectively tying the payments directly to his continued employment with the team. The bigger fraud. Aspiration's troubles didn't stop with Kawhi. In August 2025, co-founder Joe Sandberg pleaded guilty to wire fraud involving $248 million. The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in March 2025. Federal investigators revealed that 80 to 90% of Aspiration's claimed $865 million in raised funds were fabricated. The entire company was essentially built on fraud. Torre also interviewed 7 former Aspiration employees. 1. Speaking through a voice modulator, confirmed Leonard never promoted the company in any way. Never. Not once. The single largest marketing payment Aspiration ever made went to Leonard, and he didn't do a thing. Kawhi Leonard got a $28 million no-show job. The NBA fallout. This isn't just about Leonard or the Clippers. Under the 2023 collective bargaining agreement, violations like this could trigger massive sanctions, paralleling the Minnesota Timberwolves 2000 case when they forfeited 5 first-round picks over a salary cap circumvention scheme. Stephen A. Smith summed it up brutally. The deal allowed Leonard to do nothing and still get paid. That's the Kawhi Leonard I know, doing nothing and getting paid for it. Smith hammered further. If there's a way for Kawhi Leonard to get money guaranteed without working, that's exactly what he's done. The numbers support Smith's point. In 6 seasons with the Clippers, Leonard has played only 266 out of 492 possible games, barely over 50%. Yet he has consistently ranked among the league's highest-paid players. Ballmer's response. Steve Ballmer insists he was defrauded. We signed that deal with Kawhi before any of this. That was high integrity. I had no control over aspiration. Even when I invested, there were others who put in 6 times as much. But skepticism runs high. Ballmer, worth $120 billion and the former CEO of Microsoft, claims he had no control over a company he invested $50 million into, one that then paid $28 million to his own star player. Bankruptcy filings list Leonard's LLC as a $7 million creditor. The timeline suggests Ballmer's denial is, at best, incomplete. The legacy and what comes next. For Leonard, the scandal threatens to redefine his legacy. 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs may be overshadowed by his reputation as a superstar who got paid for doing nothing. For the Clippers, the consequences could be devastating. They just opened a $2 billion arena, only to face potential forfeiture of draft picks, voided contracts, and heavy fines. For Ballmer, this scandal tarnishes his reputation as the NBA's fun, fan-friendly billionaire. Whether victim or participant, this happened with his money and under his watch. For the NBA, the stakes are bigger than one player or one team. If billionaires can funnel money to players through outside companies, the salary cap becomes meaningless. The league's response will set the precedent for the future, either reinforcing competitive balance or opening the door for the richest owners to exploit loopholes. Conclusion: the investigation is ongoing and the penalties remain uncertain. But one thing is already clear. The NBA will never look at third-party endorsement deals the same way again. For Kawhi Leonard, this will define the final chapter of his career. For Steve Ballmer, it's a humbling reminder that even billionaires can get played. And for the NBA, it's a wake-up call. In the modern sports business, oversight must be as sophisticated as the schemes it seeks to prevent.